Even though we've heard about how this film was going to be an R, Guillermo wanted an R, I was still sort of surprised by how R it is.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that it went as far as it did?
Not after I read the script.
You know, I guess you're always a little surprised. Everything was in the script, and Guillermo from day one said this is going to be R-rated. He kept saying it over and over again. It was really important to him.
I don't think the film would have the impact it has without the things that make it an R-rated film. It's so immersive and it's so extreme and the passions run so high that to obscure some of those details would be to diminish the whole.
And then in the back of your head, you kind of go, well, we'll see. You know, maybe when they're in the editing room, the studio will talk them into losing some things because they think more people will be able to see it and it'll make more money if it's PG-13. But he stuck to his guns and he really created a story that was what he wanted to do.
The sexuality and the prospect of death, the violence that's always in the shadows in Gothic romance, he just brings those elements to the fore and he makes them explicit.
I mean, I would have trusted that would happen with Guillermo, but I guess you don't know who's got like kind of control of what. But it's great. I'm really glad. I think it keeps its integrity.
Did Guillermo talk to you about like books or movies to read or watch?
I love Henry James, and Guillermo and I had spoken about things even when I was making Mama, the film that he produced. And so he knew I love The Innocents. That's one of my favorite films. I love that performance. It's so wonderful.
For me, it was more the books that I looked at, like Frankenstein and Turn of the Screw, and they were really wonderful just to get the sense of that world.
He gave me in the biography things like she loves to read graveyard poetry. So often I would read graveyard poetry. I read psychology books about women similar to Miss Lucille to understand what the pattern is and how I could connect her to that.
I think he's so faithful to the genre and he treats his characters with such compassion, and it's ultimately such a human story that I personally find it quite hard to resist. I think it's really, really handsome and really, really cathartic, actually.
I'm not like so horror aware, so it was kind of great to gain this appreciation of the genre and to sort of understand why. I think we probably spend a lot of time suppressing our fear, and then for people to kind of connect with it is maybe actually a good release.
Really, the house is one of the stars of the film, would you say?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it was. I've never seen a set like it, to be honest. It was breathtaking. It inspired us all so much, and is so rare on a film this size.
It was incredible. I had seen it right when they first started building it because I went to the Toronto Film Festival, and that was like 3 or so months before we started filming. And so I got to see like the pre-production, what was going on, and it was exciting. And then coming back in January, I think, and seeing it really coming to fruition and finishing up it was really important for me because Lucille is of the house. So I needed to know this house inside and out.
It's getting, I think, increasingly rare to have real sets built, and they were just so incredibly beautiful. This 3-story mansion built on a soundstage in Toronto, and just to be able to interact with it and to get such a sense of the world that you're in was really, it was special.